Hey guys, meet the 2020 Lexus NX 300 F Sport. And this is a vehicle that competes in that highly popular small crossover class with cars like the BMW X3 and the Acura RDX. And in this video, we're going to take it for a drive and find out how fast it is from 0 to 60, how quiet it is. We're going to see how good the infotainment is and how good the ride is. But to do it, I need a buddy.
Yep. And I am that buddy for today.
Hey Tommy, thanks for helping me out with this review. So are you ready for this TFL buddy review?
Yeah, let's take a look at this new NX. So we'll start up here at the front, and the first thing you'll see are these headlights. So these are the new triple beam headlights. I think they look absolutely spot on. It looks super modern and very futuristic. We've got the daytime running light down here. Of course, the classic Lexus spindle grille. It's big and in your face, but what's hiding behind that grille is the 2-liter turbocharged Lexus engine, 235 horsepower, in this case 258 pound-feet of torque. You know what's crazy though? 6-speed automatic. So that's got to be one of the lower gears in any kind of new luxury crossover nowadays. But it is an impressive little power plant. Lexus says this car will do 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. So we'll see how that looks in the real world. Do you want to take a look at the inside, Dad?
Yeah, let's first start with the back seat, see how much room there is. You know, the thing about these small crossovers is they're a little bit tighter, right? There is the UX, the NX, and the RX. And of course, the RX is the most popular car in its class and one of the most popular cars that's out there, at least in the luxury premium segment. So let's see how it does when I get in the back seat. Yeah,
this is the NX, so keep in mind, so it'll be smaller than the RX.
Yes, of course. I gotta tell you, it's very tight. I'm hitting my head, I'm sitting behind myself, I'm hitting my knees. There's certainly a penalty to be paid when you're in a vehicle that's a little bit smaller than like the RX, but it is pretty sporty and swoopy. How about behind the second row, Tommy?
Yeah, I really do like what Lexus has done with this rear end here. You know, the full LED taillights, dual exhaust. It's just a really good looking rear end. Now, it's got a $550 option, which is the kick to open tailgate, and it works about as well. Here, let me try it with the key.
Try it with the key.
Yeah, that works about as well as any other kick to open tailgate I've ever tried. Oh! There it goes, it worked.
Pretty much you have to be an Irish dancer to get that to work.
Yeah, so pretty decent cargo capacity. Lexus says about 17, I think it's 17.7 cubic feet of space back here. Big old parcel shelf as well to obscure prying eyes. And I like this kind of netting system they include. It's super easy to remove. Just fold it down like this. First aid kit there on the side. Let's see what we have underneath this rear parcel. Well, it's kind of clipped in place, but ooh, no spare tire. Now, one thing I did notice straight away, which I'm a huge fan of on this NX, are the wheels. This is actually a fairly decently small wheel. So this is an 18-inch wheel wrapped in Yokohama Geolanders, and thank goodness, because so many of these crossovers now have 19s, 20s, 21-inch wheels, and it just compromises the ride quality. But this is a normal size wheel, so it should be a normal, decent ride.
And we should talk about this F Sport badge right here, Tommy, right?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, like if you had a BMW M or a Mercedes AMG, it meant that you had more power under the hood. Unfortunately, not anymore. That is more or less a style thing and less of a performance thing. So we don't have more horsepower, we don't have a bigger turbo.
No.
We just have the standard 2-liter with the turbo.
But if you do opt for the F Sport NX, you can order an adaptive suspension package, which is not available on the other NXs, which I think is a pretty cool feature. So yes, you're right, the engine's pretty much the same. You do get a more aggressive body kit, but you can also get these cool adaptive suspension, which we have.
Okay, let's jump inside the car and look at the Monroney.
Yep.
So Tom, you have the Monroney there. Let's see how much this costs.
I do. So as you see it equipped, this F Sport NX 300 is $51,048. The base price is $40,360. So we have about $10K worth of options. What do you think of this interior?
I like the interior. It's very industrial. So there's
industrial.
Industrial. There's a lot of horizontal lines with a lot of buttons, and it just looks very mechanical and industrial, and I really like that look. It's not soft and kind of friendly, it's more in your face, angry and buttony, and I think that's a good look. The one thing that I don't like, and I have never liked, is Lexus's infotainment control. This little pad. It should be a touchpad.
So on the new RX, they actually have both. So they went to the LX or the Lexus kind of mousy thing here, but it's also touchscreen. So we'll see if it's also the same on the NX here. Now I think the interior is super compartmentalized, so you feel very separate driver to passenger, which is cool because it makes it feel like you are in a is it touchscreen? No. It makes it feel like you're in a fighter jet, which I like.
I never got this little thing. Matt, why don't you focus down here? You see this? This is like this little mirror thing.
Oh wow, look at that.
That they put over
I did not know
this
that.
little cubby hole, yeah. So I guess if you need to look at yourself, Tommy.
Don't you have them here too?
You do, but you also have one there.
And you have a third one here, so you can get
that
full variety.
Oh, here, let me do this. Ooh,
thanks.
Look at that. Now you've got the mirror.
It's not like I'm in a 70s disco. Look at that. I've got 3 different angles for selfies there, which is pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of an interesting touch in these vehicles. Now, keep in mind, we do have 3 different drive modes. We have Eco, Normal, Custom, and S and S Plus. Actually, 5 with 3 different settings. So I'm going to go to S Plus, so when we do our acceleration test, we're at the highest possible.
How do you reckon sportiest. 5?
Like Eco, and this is Normal or Custom. That's gotcha. Sport or Sport Plus.
You actually get an additional one if you get the hybrid variant.
All right, so let's go for a ride and see how this does out on the open road.
So some interesting things about the NX. It's got a 15.9 gallon fuel tank, and the EPA says it'll do 24 mpg combined, which is worse than the hybrid variant, but it's all right for a 2-liter turbo. Now, one of the issues with these turbocharged engines is they typically tend to be thirsty, because much as Ford says with the Eco or the Boost, you either get Eco or Boost, but it's hard to get both. And that certainly is the case here. So 24 combined is decent. It does weigh 4,050 pounds, and Lexus says 0 to 60 should be 7 seconds, but that's at sea level with a celery stick of a dude driving it. So with 3 people in here at a mile above sea level, I'm expecting it to be quite a bit slower.
You're thinking like maybe 8.5 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 8.5.
You know, I do like this analog clock, and I do like the fact that you still have hard buttons for all the important things.
And feel how good these little toggles feel for the climate control.
Yeah, I mean, it's very Porsche-like, right? Before Porsche went to digital.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of little buttons. One way they can be finicky, but I like them because I think they're very precise and delicate.
I agree completely.
And they feel expensive, you know what I mean?
Yep, for sure. So we're in our Sport Plus mode. We are going to have to, oh man, we hit the train.
We're going to have to cut for a commercial interruption while we sit here and wait for the train to go by. So we'll get you right back when we come back after this train. Huh? We don't do commercials, do we? Let's do a commercial. Hey guys, because of Patreon supporters like you, we're able to produce a lot more cool videos featuring trucks like that. Now, there's more. If you support us on Patreon, what are we doing, Nathan?
We'll be able to answer your individual questions on video, and we'll create more content specifically for you guys.
Yes, just use the link below, and if you send us your detailed questions about your car or truck buying decisions, we'll answer it directly on Patreon.
So you're going to be answering questions from all of our Patreon supporters directly, like talking to, hey Jim, you should buy this truck, or you should tow with this vehicle? Absolutely, heck yeah.
Sounds like a hell of a deal. Hey, click on the link below, guys.
We're going to make some people grumpy here because we're going to have to pull out onto the merge and then stop and wait for the Solo DL to
reset.
That's just the way it is, unfortunately.
All right, so this is our 0 to 60 on-ramp test, so why don't you go ahead and stop here?
Have to stop.
Make this person grumpy. Could you just come to a complete stop?
Yeah, I'm going to stop for a second.
And yep, go.
Okay, here
Floor
we
it.
I'm floored. I'm floored.
Ooh, it's not all that quick.
And there's 60.
9.41.
Whoa. Yeah. Colorado just doesn't have the perfect altitude for quick acceleration tests, does it, Tommy?
No, it certainly does not. Now, one of the things we like to do here out on the highway is drive at 55, and we will do our sound meter test.
Okay, let me go to 55. And let me close this, actually, because that's fair.
All right, so it's about 65, 66, which is pretty decent, and that's one of the benefits of having this 18-inch wheel on this car, is that, you know, you're not dealing with the massive low-profile tire. you can have a decent ride and potentially a quieter interior as well. So we're going to do our snarfs test next, which is where we ask the car to navigate the snarfs sandwiches. They're not paying us, they really should though. A couple things to know: this is a 10.3 inch multimedia display here in the center. It's a horizontally mounted display, and then there in the cluster, that little screen is a 4.2 inch screen. So this looks good, this is big enough. That's starting to look small and dated.
Yeah, and by the way, we went to Snarfs for lunch yesterday.
Yeah.
2 sandwiches, 2 bags of chips, and 2 drinks. $30. What was up with that? What was up with that? $30 for lunch? Oh my God, for 2 people, Tommy, that was no good. All right, let's try the Snarf test while the train is en route here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to say navigate the Snarfs.
Yep.
Before you start, consider viewing the available video tutorials or voice training functionality.
I'm not interested. Try it again.
Navigate the Snarfs.
Navigate to nurse.
Navigate to nurse, it says. The cloud is thinking.
Showing results for this nurse.
Okay.
Select the one you want.
Try it again.
Navigate to Snarfs.
Oh, got it.
Do you want to navigate to this point of interest?
Yes.
Starting guidance for a new route.
Wow, okay, pretty good. Pretty good, actually. Not bad at all. So I would call that a pass. Let me go ahead and cancel this here.
All right, here's our rough road, and we see how the hula girl dances, with 1 being no dancing and 10 being like double hula. So what do you think? Did you put it on?
Yeah, I'm putting you just in normal mode here.
Yeah.
Which should be like that.
Yeah. It's pretty firm, Tommy. I would say it's controlled, but, what, maybe a 3 on the dancing scale?
Is 10 the most dancing?
Yes.
Oh, you're way off.
What?
I think it's like a 6 or 7.
Really? So we have a disagreement there.
You think it's that soft?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty soft.
Well, it does have the adaptive variable suspension, so in theory it should be able to kind of adapt to the terrain and soften out when it needs to based on your drive modes. Okay, a couple other things to know here on my little sticker. This is a panoramic backup monitor, which was an $800 option. A windshield de-icer, which is a $100 option.
What's the most expensive option you got?
It's a premium F Sport package, which are the heated and ventilated front seats, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alerts, and the power moonroof. Now, one of the cool things about the new NX, it comes standard with the Lexus Safety Sense 2.0 suite of safety gear. So that includes roadside assist, pre-collision system, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning. So you get a lot of standard features in the safety department.
Toyota has done that both for Lexus and for Toyota, right?
Yeah, they sure have.
So Toyota Safety Sense comes standard now, I think, with almost all their vehicles.
This is 2.0 though on this 2020.
So you get the newer version of it.
So you get the newer version. You also get 8 airbags as standard, and let's take a look at the government 5-star safety ratings. Overall vehicle score is 5 out of 5 stars.
Nice. So let's do a quick good, bad, and ugly on this. So with the good, I'm going to say I really like this interior. There is not a harsh or a plasticky surface to be seen or to be touched. Everything just is exquisite in its execution, right? The quality is certainly there. That's my good. How about your good?
Sure, I'm going to go with that too.
All right. And the bad, for me, the bad is it's just too small. I barely fit in the front seat. I don't fit in the rear seat. I just think it's a very tight car. And it used to be that, like, the X3 would line up directly with the NX, and then
the RX, yeah.
Yeah. And the X5 would line up with the RX. But now those sizes have gotten kind of squishy. So, especially with crossovers, they're all over the place. But I definitely go for the RX over the NX if it were my money. How about you?
Probably not. I don't really need the space of an RX.
The bad.
Oh, what's the bad? Yeah, rear seat legroom's pretty rough. Rear seat headroom is also pretty rough. But I'd probably still take the NX because I don't, use the rear seat in my lifestyle very much.
And for me, by far the ugly is this part right here. You were trying to use it, and you saw the problems that Tommy was having trying to use this. It's just not a great system. It's not very intuitive. I think the war is over and touchscreens have won, and design-wise, that's way too far for a touchscreen anyway.
Well, the NX is a couple years old now, so what may have worked in 2016-17 is probably not going to be as effective you know, now that we've seen some more advancements in modern systems, but I still think that this is probably the best in its class. If you look at vehicles like the Q3 and the maybe like BMW X1 even is
yeah,
kind
but
of
Tesla has reset the bar. If you look at a Tesla, this
I'm
would
sorry,
all be
how much is a Model X?
Yes, I know. But
Yeah.
the infotainment system in a Model 3 is $50,000 car. It's
No.
you know, this is a $50,000 car, and you still get a big old screen.
No, this is way better than the Model 3.
All right.
Way better.
All right, we'll disagree there. All right, Tommy, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, what do you give the Lexus NX 300? Keep in mind, this has not changed since it was introduced, so, you know, basically the
Pretty
last...
much the same.
Yeah, the last several years.
Yeah, I would give it probably a lease it. If you're going to buy one, I would strongly recommend the hybrid. I think that's the one to go for. It's got a really pretty impressive all-wheel drive system. The 300 is good with a 2-liter turbo, but I still think the fuel economy benefits of the hybrid are well worth the extra cost.
Yeah, definitely lease it. If you're a big guy like me, you may want to move up to the RX. It's just a little too tight, and I feel claustrophobic in it, especially in the back seat. As always, this is Roman.
Yep, and Tommy, go back to TFLcar.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews.
See you guys next time. Ciao.